Life is busy. As adults, it's so easy to get caught up in our daily routine. We go to work every morning just trying to get through the day, just to make a paycheck at the end of the week to pay our bills, and we get caught up in this cycle, trying to make some headway, trying to be successful. And for what? One day you wake up and realize that half your life is behind you, and what do you even have to show for it? There's a whole world out there to explore, endless experiences to have, and there's never going to be the perfect time to go and do it. Sometimes you just need to do something big to show yourself that you're alive and that you can do anything you want with this life. Last year, I said fuck it. I put my life on hold and went down to Georgia to attempt a thru hike on the Appalachian Trail. This is my story. At the very beginning of the Appalachian Trail on Springer Mountain. Here is the first white blaze. So I did the 8.8 mile approach trail today, and now we are going to camp on top of Springer Mountain. Here is my tent that I would like to say I set up in one shot, but it took two. So day one was a success and a nice sunset to finish it off. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Day two. I survived last night, my first night in a tent. It was thunderstorms. I didn't sleep great, but I did sleep. I'm gonna pack up my tent and start off on technically mile 1 on the AT. It took me a couple of days to hike the next 35 miles or so until I reached my first pit stop at Lehigh Gap. We just stopped for a couple hours, ate a shitload of pizza, got some more food for the next day or two, and charging our devices right now. So I think we're gonna do another 6 or 7 miles. So the pizza was a terrible idea. So far the hiking's been all uphill. Good morning. It is cold, wet, and muddy. I've stuffed my hair into my rain jacket because my number one priority today is to keep my hair dry so that I don't die of fucking hypothermia tonight. Weather, especially rain, was going to prove to be a challenge for my entire hike. It is 5 o'clock and I'm in my sleeping bag already because it is fucking cold out. So last night was rough. It was really cold. Pretty sure a mouse ran across my tent. Got up this morning and my food bag was frozen, so it took a little bit to just like get the knot off of the stick, and then when I hoisted the bag up all the way to do that, the bag got stuck in the tree. Anyway, it's fucking cold, but it is beautiful out here this morning. After my first 6 days in the woods, I headed into Hiawassee, Georgia for my first overnight at a hostel. Welcome, hikers. We are at the top of Georgia Hostel.
Y'all need a set or anything?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. That's perfect timing.
Day 7 of my Appalachian Trail adventure. Already went over a couple big mountains today. I'm trying to do about 13 miles to Deep Gap Shelter tonight. And here's how someone with OCD goes camping. I officially made it to 6 o'clock and I'm going to bed. Day 8, the sun decided to come out today and we're hoping to cross state lines today. We did it! Alright, we officially crossed the border into North Carolina. I believe a break was brand.
Find out.
We got a nice campfire going. Had a bunch of marshmallows again. Did the 13, I think, miles today and ended just past the border crossing. Gonna have an early night, wake up in the morning, and do it all over again. So after what feels like 10 fucking miles of switchbacks, we made it to the top of Standing Indian Mountain.
First hair wash of the trip.
It took me 10 days to hike the first 100 miles, and I felt pretty good about that.
All right, the official 100-mile marker. We made it 100 miles.
It is day 11 or 12, I think. Taking a 0 day. A 0 day is a day off from hiking altogether. I'd been having an issue with one of my feet already and decided that I had to check out Outdoor 76, an outfitter in Franklin, North Carolina that came highly recommended for troubleshooting foot problems. They got me set up with a new pair of shoes, 2 sizes bigger, and the next morning I hit the trail again. Day 13. As you can tell, it is raining, and tonight, according to atweather.org, it will be very windy, very cold, and possibly snowing. So far my feet are doing fantastic, so I'm loving them so far, other than the ridiculous colors, but the arch of my foot is feeling really good actually. To the top of Waya Bald, which is a bald mountain over 5,000 feet, which is probably the last place you want to be in a thunderstorm. So, don't fucking try this at home. We're gonna get the hell off this mountain.
Alright, this is some bullshit weather.
Hi. So in between spurts of downpours and thunderstorms, we managed to get our tents up. So now I'm just gonna hunker down in here for the night. I would like to thank my LL Bean 15-degree sleeping bag for keeping me warm last night. I can't really tell, but snow everywhere. I'm a little low on water, so I was trying to melt some snow in my sleeping bag, but it's not really working. Okay, update. We went and got some water. My shoelaces were frozen, so I had to put on my wet socks from yesterday and my Tiva sandals. And water was probably like a football field away. So my toes froze and my hands froze, but I went and got water. Now I'm back in my bag warming up. Okay, new plan. It's supposed to just keep getting colder, so we are gonna move all our shit into the shelter and hunker down in the shelter tonight for my first 10. And then just do an extra long day tomorrow. Good morning. To make a long story short, we got rained on the day before, and then all our shit froze overnight. So when we woke up yesterday morning to a few inches of snow, we decided it would be best to take a 0 where we were, move our shit into the shelter, and stay warm. Last night it definitely got in the 20s, if not colder. So we ended up with, I think, 10 of us on the platform of a 6-person shelter, and then a big tent on the floor with 2 more girls and their 2 dogs. So it was entertaining as hell. And that was my first night in a shelter, and everyone was just pig piled on top of each other. So anyways, got packed up this morning and on our way, trying to do at least 10 to 15 miles today. Make up some time for our 0 yesterday. this morning I was struggling to put on frozen socks and shoes. Now I'm in a t-shirt on top of lesser balls. Good morning, North Carolina. Good day today. We did 9 miles. We are gonna try to do 12 miles, I think, tomorrow and get into Fontana Dam and then take a 0 day on Saturday because Luke is flying in Saturday and meeting up with us. So that is a wrap on tonight. It is freaking cold out, so I'm gonna jump in my tent and I'll see you tomorrow. Day 18. Spring has sprung. I think this is my best setup so far of the Hyperlight Echo 2. Nice and tight.
That's what she said.
Day 19, I think. I am at the Fontana Lodge compound area. I am staying here, so I'm waiting for Luke to come right now. I think his plane might have landed already, but he has to find his way here. I'm not sure, so he'll probably be a couple hours. So we're in the lobby at the Fontana Lodge. This is what happens when they don't let you check into your hotel room early. You organize your shit in the lobby. We are charging over here. Got all my stuff from my mom. Thank you, Mom, for sending me my shit and my little note. I'm still in the lobby. I finished my resupply, and look who joined me. Say hi.
Hello, people.
This is Luke, everybody. All right, we are still waiting for our room to be ready, and we will update you later. Bye. Well, after 13 freaking hours, the room is ready, and he's carrying all my shit. He's in AT training mode right now. I didn't have access to a washing machine, but I needed to wash my clothes. They were dirty. I officially washed my hair for the first time. So it's been, almost 3 weeks since I washed my hair. It was not as dirty, though, as my clothes water. It was a little dirty, but not bad.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Luke and I just finished up dinner. We are entering the Smokies tomorrow. Should be interesting. I think we have a few days of rain to look forward to. The Smoky Mountains was a section I had been looking forward to since I started researching the trail. I had told Luke, my better half, that if he were going to visit me on the trail, that would be the best place to do it. The Appalachian Trail is roughly 70 miles through the park. On our first day, it was beautiful, and then the weather really took a turn. It is about 9:45 on day 21 for me, which makes 3 weeks, and it is day 2 for Luke. It's a little baby one.
Hey, this is gonna blow open.
Huh?
Doing my business. Fuck out of my castle.
We made it to, fuck this wind. We made it to Rocky Top Mountain, 5,400 feet. We have an awesome Alright, so we made it to whatever shelter this is. I'm soaking wet outside with rain and freaking mud. I'm soaking wet inside my rain gear from freaking sweat and condensation. We hiked 12 miles, never had lunch. I also have my Diva Cup in for the first time on the trail. So, if that paints a picture of my freaking attitude for you, there you go.
We're at the Dark Knob shelter right now, and there's a lot going on.
Wake up, Flanagan, the bartender's coming. He says there's someone here who means to do us harm. Sound the alarm, it's a man with a skeleton arm.
You're in it.
We're coming to you live from the Appalachian Trail from Russell. Right from Derek's Knob Shelter. We are the Haiku Crew.
Luke, what'd you think?
It's a good day.
That was his initiation onto the AT in the pouring rain. So, it was rough, but we got dry, we got warm, and then we were serenaded all night, so I was We've already done 7.4 miles. Got going early this morning after we put on our wet clothes from yesterday. Pouring again today. We've got another couple miles till we get to Clingman's Dome, which is the highest point on the AT, which I'm excited about, but unfortunately we probably won't have much of a view today. That's probably good.
Let's see you take it.
Alright, we made it to Clingman's Dome, the highest point on the AT. This is our view, so I'll give you the view we're supposed to have. There's our western view. Here's our northern view. Here's our eastern view. Oh my god, it's so pretty. I love the Smoky Mountains. And here's our southern view.
We are at 200.0 mile marker right now, so even though it's a shitty, cold, rainy day, we hit a couple of fucking landmarks today. At Newfound Gap, halfway through the Smokies, we got the hell out of the rain and spent 2 nights in the really weird town of Gatlinburg, Tennessee, getting dry before jumping back on the trail. We made our way through the rest of the Smokies. The weather finally cleared and the highlight was Mount Camerer, which was a slight detour off of the AT.
Man, this is so pretty. What an awesome way to say goodbye to the Smokies today. Good night. Peace out, Smokies.
We are at Standing Bear Hostel. They have hostels here and tent sites and a tree house that I almost took, but we opted for this little creekside room instead, which has an outlet. So we're gonna spend the night here and then we're gonna bust out like a 13.5 mile day tomorrow and make it to the top of Max Patch and camp up there.
What a spot for the night. Hell yes.
Max Patch ended up being one of my favorite spots on the AT, but then of course it was followed with another bump in the road. There was a forest fire up ahead in the 6.6 miles before Hot Springs was closed. Okay, we made it to Garenflow Gap, and there is a forest service guy here that will not let you go any further. So we're going to start walking and hopefully hitch or maybe just walk to town, because it doesn't sound like this section is going to reopen while I'm still in the area, because he said a couple of weeks. So that sucks. So, I don't know. We spent a couple days in Hot Springs eating food, resupplying, checking out the natural mineral water hot tubs, and hanging out with friends.
Hey! Hey-oh!
Is this the spot?
It's the spot! Yeah!
Following our friends All Good, Smokestack, and 000 down the Whitewater River was a great way to finish off Luke's 2-week visit. The next morning, he would head to the Asheville airport to go home and work while I continued on my trek. Luke left today, so this is really the first time on the trail by myself. I've already done a few miles. So far, so good. So I think I'm doing 8 to 10 miles. I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of cool just doing whatever the hell I want now. just in time. Shit has escalated. Today. So I just hit mile 300, so I'm psyched about that. And at the same time, the sun came out for the first time in 2 days. So it's a good day. I started to really enjoy going at my own pace, and the bigger mile days were just coming naturally. I ended up doing 16 miles yesterday, and I think I'm gonna do even more today if the weather stays like this. After more than a month on the trail, I'd gotten into a routine and was feeling more and more confident. So today is day 36. Currently, I am on top of Big Bald Mountain. It was quite a hike up here, but well fucking worth it. All by myself. Today I would head to Uncle Johnny's Hostel in Erwin, Tennessee for an overnight. Hello, Erwin, Tennessee.
Hey, Handstand.
I ran into some hikers that I knew, the Haiku crew and Drop Bear, so it's fun to catch up to them. It's bright.
It's neat.
Okay, so this is Drop Bear.
It does make a guy's eyes.
And we're giving him a dread beard. Or a beard dread.
Oh, I don't know.
So that we can put this little skull bead on. Oh, okay, beer break. Which hopefully I can do it now that I'm videoing. Oh yeah. It doesn't really look like a dread, but it's holding the bead on. We need a mirror to show him!
I'm a fucking pirate.
An Australian pirate.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. Alright, pack weigh-in time. I'm at 30.05. I finally hit a nice spell of weather just in time to go through the Roan Highlands. It was breathtaking. Although I was still hiking on my own, I was going out of my comfort zone by meeting new people every day and enjoying the AT social culture at night. Alright, good night! Good night! I had basically been hiking on the border of North Carolina and Tennessee since the Smokies. 6 weeks after the start of my hike, I left North Carolina for good and officially had 2 states behind me. See you later, North Carolina. Hell yeah, mile 400. Okay, first of all, good morning. Second of all, I just saw my first bear. I kind of thought it was a dog at first, to be honest. It was down in a valley. It heard me and just took off like a freaking shot. It was kind of far away, so it didn't look that big. So it took a minute to really process, but there was no one else around. It's definitely a bear. So my heart's racing and it's exciting because I've been kind of stressed about seeing one, I think, but that was a good way to see one. I would be stressed if it were sniffing around my tent when I was asleep, but to just see one in the middle of the day was pretty cool. I continued on doing my thing until one day I ran into a fellow thru hiker and YouTuber, Evan, or Ewolf.
And that's Handstand.
And that's Evan. I really enjoyed talking with him, and I didn't really have a plan for the day, so I just sort of kept walking with him. Time flew by, and next thing I knew, we'd walked into Virginia. Made it to Virginia. Hi, Evan.
How can you do a...
So I just made it to camp and looked at my GPS app, and I did 26.7 miles today, which not only is my longest day, but is also more than a freaking marathon. So it's only 9 a.m., but we made it to trail days, and all the tents are starting to get set up. People are starting to show up, so it's pretty exciting. So look who showed up. Luke drove his motorcycle from Haverhill, Massachusetts, all the way down to Damascus, Virginia.
15 hours, motherfucker.
To meet me for trail days, and then he's gonna stay for a couple weeks and hike his butt off with me.
Hiking my butt.
Trail Days is a big festival that happens in Damascus every year to celebrate past and present AT hikers. There's gear vendors, food, music, a parade, and all kinds of chaos. I had no idea how many people were watching my YouTube videos, and it was so much fun feeling like a celebrity for the weekend.
Might as well just walked in. That's no fair. Evan wears fucking sandals.
Whoever said Virginia was flat was fucking lying. It's day 50. We camped out last night and there was a hungry bear running around, ripping through people's Ursack bags and everything. So, believe it or not, I actually did get some sleep anyways. It's sunny this morning and hopefully it holds out so we can see some ponies in the Grayson Highlands today. Watch me get kicked in the face.
Look at all the ponies.
It must be on YouTube.
Is that a third leg?
Someone's following.
Oh my god, always nibbling my foot. Hi. It's kind of hard to see, but we made it to 500 bitches. With over 500 miles down and another 500 miles just to get through Virginia, my days and weeks became a little repetitive. Hiking, making our way into town, resupplying, eating a ton of food,
Food out here quick so they can't not bring a lot of chips. Bring like a wooden.
getting back on the trail, hiking, camping, waking up at sunrise, hiking, rain, camping, rain, washing clothes in streams, camping, packing up camp, hiking, filtering water, resupplying, organizing, camping,
Oh, wait.
jamming.
Oh, wait, we gotta play the other big shaggy hit. There we go. Now we're jamming on the AT.
Mile markers, mud, hiking, rain, making our way into town, resupplying, messy hotel rooms, eating a ton of food, hiking, recreating an episode of The Office,
Parkour. Parkour.
parkour,
Parkour!
hiking, eating, waking up at sunrise, packing up camp, Luke going home again, wildlife, climbing trees, hiking.
Made it to 700.
Then I made it to the Triple Crown of Virginia. The first of the 3 iconic spots was Dragon's Tooth.
This is hard to do while filming.
Yeah, one-handed.
Alright. It's much easier with 2 hands.
Alright, the view from the very tip of Dragon's Tooth.
I actually really like heights, but this is kind of freaky up here. I am super excited today. It is beautiful out and I am on my way up to McAfee Knob, which I've been pronouncing McAfee Knob for I don't know how long, but I was corrected today by the people of Virginia. Anyways, I'm super excited. I have been dreaming about my handstand picture on McAfee Knob since I first learned of the AT. So we will see you up there. I'm almost there. I'm so excited. He's not happy right now. Tinker Cliffs. So this is my view from Tinker Cliffs right now. And I downloaded the Peak Finder app so I could double check. So that is McAfee Knob. And we walked this whole ridge line all the way to here. I'm pretty happy with the way things are going right now. I'm averaging, I just did my average, which is 11.5 miles per day since the start. It's been much higher the last couple of weeks. I'm doing much bigger days than that, but it just, when you take a 0 day or a near day, it brings down the average. So 11.5 is pretty good. I'm definitely on track to make it to Katahdin. Back to the grind. Hiking, making our way into town, new shoes, logistics, Mexican food, back to the trail, hiking,
Trail magic!
camping, food, hanging bear bags, hiking, camping, the occasional view, back in the green tunnel, hiking, trail magic, handstands, hiking, wildlife, mile markers, rain, hiking, making our way into town, Mexican food, hiking, climbing. I am on my way up a 2,000-foot climb first thing this morning, sweating my ass off. Rain, more rain, rain, more rain, muddy trails, me bitching about the rain, and more rain. Mud, camping, town, resupplying, back to the trail, hiking. Then I reached Shenandoah National Park.
Federal government.
This pen sucks. Alright, so I am in the Shenandoah National Park right now, which is not too exciting so far. I'm only a couple miles in. It's kind of funny. It reminds me of going into the Smokies just because it's a national park and there's specific like borders for it. In your mind, you just think it's gonna be like something different. And it's exactly the same as the shit I've been hiking in for a while.
A penis tree. Alright, this is my first time attempting to use a bear pole, I guess we're calling it. And then I gotta hook the carabiner on it? Or I just hook the whole hand?
I didn't do it that way, but
It is hard to see what you're doing. Okay, ow, there's a tree there. Oh my god. Alright, hang on. Oh my god, I need help with this.
I get it? I got it. That must be a terrible video. That was way harder than I thought it was gonna be.
Good morning from Black Rock. All right, just saw my first bear in Shenandoah Park. Second bear on the AT. It was a little scary because he was on the trail just kind of walking right towards us. But I was banging my trekking poles over my head and he ran off, so I'm excited. Alright, I just made it to a little tent site, did about 15 miles today, and get a surprise.
Hello.
Luke showed up today, so it's good to have him back. We started to make our way through Shenandoah, and since the trail stays right near the infamous Skyline Drive Road, there's lots of opportunities to go to stores, restaurants, campgrounds, and all kinds of luxuries. So we've spoiled ourselves tonight. We are at the Lewis Mountain Campground. So this is right on the AT. It's like an actual campground, and there's like RVs and stuff here. We had to pay $16 to camp, which is what we do every night, which is kind of ridiculous. However, there are bathrooms here and a little store and like fire pits. We might actually buy firewood.
I had the most shameful walk of my life. I got bundles because I'm lazy, and these woods are picked through. We're gonna have a nice fire. And I also got some cheap sticks. So
We're survivalists.
we're glamping the fuck out of tonight. I don't think she's
We continued hiking through the park until we eventually made our way to Big Meadows Lodge. Luke actually drove his motorcycle here and then got shuttled to where we were on the trail a couple days ago. So his bike is here, and we have decided to go for a bike ride and check out the Shenandoah National Park area from the road.
This isn't dangerous.
Alright, so it was an awesome bike ride earlier. It really helped me see why people love Shenandoah Park so much. I hate to say it, but the bike ride was almost better than hiking it. It was really beautiful. I didn't mention earlier, but today is actually Father's Day. So I don't like to get too personal, but even though I share these videos with you guys, they are for me. And so today was kind of a tough day. I lost my dad right before this trip a few months ago, and today was one of the tougher days thinking about it, but luckily I have Luke, and every time he's come out he's brought me some new pictures. So he always brings me a picture of my dad, and then on this trip, a little extra special because of Father's Day, he brought me this locket. So it's got my initials on the front, a picture of me and my dad when I was little inside it, and then on the back it says, "Take a suck pill, Butch." My dad's name was Butch, or his nickname, and that was something he always used to say, so kind of made me laugh, kind of made me cry. I wish I was home with my brothers right now today, but I'm here. So it's all good, and I'm gonna keep going. And I did keep going, no matter what. I don't know if you can see this very well, but this is the shit we're dealing with. These are fucking little tiny nets, so we have to hide in our freaking bug net. All right, we are leaving the Shenandoah National Park. We're at the north permit station right now. Stop! You're gonna make me Alright, we are leaving Shenandoah National Park. We are at the north permit station right now. 103 miles, I think we did here, and we're fucking out. If you can't tell, it's pouring. We were in the shelter eating dinner and then made a run for it to our tent. So everything is damp at the moment, but okay, I'd like to point out the aftermath of all that rain. We are a little bit wet in the tent. We got shit drying on top of the tent. We have shit drying over here. We have shit drying over here. We have more shit drying over there and more shit drying over there. Everyone is conversing at the shelter because it was crazy torrential downpours last night. A lot of people got wet. We got the roller coaster coming up today, which is just a series of quick up and downs, I think. And then we'll hit the 1,000-mile marker today, and it is June 21st, which is Hike Naked Day. So no one is naked that I've seen at this point, but I'm on the lookout. This is what your feet look like after hiking for 3 days in wet socks and shoes. Okay, guess what? 1,000! I'm super excited. We're not even, or I'm not even quite halfway yet, but 1,000 feels really, really good.
West Virginia. That's all I know.
We made it to West Virginia. Finally out of the state of Virginia, which took fucking forever. We are heading into Harpers Ferry today, which is like the unofficial halfway point for the Appalachian Trail. The halfway is actually a little bit past it, but in Harpers Ferry they have the ATC headquarters or something where they take your picture that you've made it halfway and give you a new number for the number of through hiker that has passed through there.
I knew.
Actually, hey, you need a handstand one.
Can you do a handstand?
Good.
Alright, we're still trying to figure it out because it's not very clear, but I think we've already crossed the border into Maryland, so West Virginia was quick and easy, and on to the next state. At this point, it felt like we were just flying through the checkpoints. All right, we are at the state line of Pennsylvania, which means we just pulled off 18 miles in like 7 hours, first of all, and got through another state. So West Virginia and Maryland were pretty uneventful. On to the next one. Raining again. I look like I have a bonnet on.
Oh, look at her bonnet.
As you can see, we've got some new rain gear.
It really does look like a bonnet.
E.T. Yep, this is what I thought Pennsylvania would be like, but I hear it gets much worse. Okay, we are at mile 1095.4, which is significant because it is exactly halfway done the AT, which this kind of feels like a week-long affair because we had the 1,000-mile marker, which kind of felt halfway, and then Harpers Ferry, which they call the unofficial halfway point the other day, and then today we hit the actual halfway point, and then tomorrow we also will hit the half-gallon challenge at the Pine Grove General Store where they kind of celebrate the halfway point. So it's a week-long celebration, feels good, halfway done. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. 1,100. We are almost to the half-gallon challenge, which I mentioned yesterday, but I forgot to elaborate about what that was. So around the halfway point on the trail, there's a general store where they sell half-gallons of ice cream, and it's supposed to be a fun contest to see if you can eat a full half-gallon of ice cream. mainly just for the novelty of saying that you did it. Otherwise, you just win a little wooden spoon. So we are almost there. I intend to participate. I haven't decided how competitive I'm going to be about it, as it is 9 in the morning and I will have about another 15 miles to hike after that. So Zach joined us for the half-gallon challenge. It's going down. Alright, we're on camera. We finished our half-gallon challenge. I feel like shit. How do you feel?
Like shit.
Alright, these boys are about to feel as shitty as I do right now.
I feel regret. I'm going to find a bathroom. Alright, so Luke is leaving. Zach is giving him a ride back to Shenandoah National Park to his motorcycle where he'll drive home, and then we'll be back out in a few weeks. Bye, babe. Love you.
Love you.
Okay, update. I've gone 0.3 and decided I needed to lay down for a few. Okay, update again. I just took another break. I think I'm averaging a break every 2 miles. So, therefore, my recommendation would be not to do the half-gallon challenge at all while hiking the AT. And my second recommendation would be, if you are going to do it at the very end of the day when you don't have to continue hiking all day. I am trying to do a big day today, hopefully 20 to 25 miles. And it's supposed to be a high of 96 degrees today, so that should be interesting. I'm in a section in Pennsylvania where there's fewer water sources, and a lot of the water sources run dry in the summer. Oh yeah, look at this water source. Yummy. Alright, I've been hiking through these meadows for a little while, and just checked the weather. It's 85 degrees and sunny and hot. And you can feel the steam and the heat just coming off the ground. It's miserable. Good morning, Pennsylvania, and happy 4th of July. Hope you all are enjoying your barbecues and your fireworks while I'm out here busting my ass in the most fucking boring state ever. No offense intended to the people of Pennsylvania. I know some of you guys are watching this, but your state is boring. It's really fucking flat. There are no views. I pretty much never get over 1,000 feet elevation. Everybody likes to bitch about the rocks, but to be honest, it's actually the most entertaining thing about this trail. I wore my fucking sunglasses in there. Now I gotta go find them. Oh shit. Oh no. It's really cold. So, change of plans, change of scenery. I'm still in Pennsylvania in whatever town this is, and I'm actually at urgent care right now. I haven't been feeling great the last week. I mean, normal stuff, tired, achy, headache. So I didn't think too much of it, but I was paying attention to it. And then last night I started getting like feverish symptoms and chills, and then I was just like cold sweats all night. I didn't sleep at all, and I just was frozen and sweating and disgusting. So I don't feel very well. So I came to urgent care. I mean, I don't think I have Lyme disease, but better safe than sorry, I guess. So I just got testing done, blood tests and stuff. It's gonna take like days for the results to come back, but they did put me on medication for it. So now I gotta try to figure out a shuttle situation to try to go get a prescription. And I think I'm gonna spend one more night here in this town, whatever this town is. So that puts me a day behind of where I was trying to be, but whatever, it's gonna have to work itself out one way or another. All right, so cut to the next morning. I am in another crappy motel in Charlottesville, Pennsylvania. Yesterday it was really rough. I was battling a fever all day, 101 degrees, and all last night, and just nauseous and no appetite and headache and the whole nine. So it was kind of scary. I don't know that I've ever felt this bad. So I started my medication, but it's 21 days of antibiotics, so I don't think it's really kicked in yet. I was taking ibuprofen yesterday, trying to keep my temperature down, and then last night I took a PM one, trying to get some sleep. So I managed to get a couple hours of sleep, I think, but I was still like insane, serious cold sweats all night. It was terrible. So I took a few showers in the middle of the night. Didn't get much sleep, but I did get a little bit. So anyways, I feel a tiny bit better this morning, but honestly, I just can't stand to sit in this motel room all day. So I have decided to try to hike on. Hopefully that's not a bad idea. So welcome to through hiking, where you kind of have to hike even when you really don't fucking want to. The next couple of days were absolutely horrible. I was too nauseous to eat, so I was hiking 20-mile days with almost 0 calories or energy. I hated Pennsylvania. It was hot, rocky, monotonous, and miserable. I did get a call from the doctor today, so I did get my test results back already, so I did test positive for Lyme. But on a positive note, it sounds like, we caught it early, and that hopefully after this round of medication, I'll be in the clear. I'll have to get tested again once I'm done in 3 weeks with the medication. Today is day 4 or 5, I think, on the medication, so today I'm feeling worse than yesterday, actually. My stomach hurts and headache and tired, but I'm not even really sure if those are the symptoms from Lyme or if those are just side effects from the medication, to be honest. But either way, I know I'm on the mend, so looking forward to getting better. Despite the Lyme disease and the medication in rocky Pennsylvania, I pushed on to Lehigh Gap, where I would head into Palmerton, Pennsylvania to spend the night in a hostel.
Don't take a picture of us.
No, it's a video. Alright, so I just walked into where I was supposed to stay at the hostel tonight, and this is my mom and her husband Mike. They totally surprised me. Hi guys, you missed the reaction.
Drove down from New Hampshire.
Oh, you drove? How long was the drive?
No, we flew.
Yeah, I guess that makes
6
sense.
hours.
I don't know what state I'm in, okay?
6 hours.
So I might have cried a little bit. Hi guys.
Alright, so I'm at the Country Inn and Suites. Change of plans since my mom and Mike came. I didn't video much tonight. I really just enjoyed some time with them. So instead of staying at the hostel, I came to the hotel with them. It was so awesome that they came. It was such a surprise. I had no idea. They planned it weeks ago, but it came at the perfect time where I was having all these, issues with the Lyme disease and everything. And so it was a nice boost of morale. It was a quick visit. The next morning, they dropped me off back at the trail where I climbed out of Lehigh Gap. I had a renewed sense of motivation as I continued to push on. All right, feeling pretty good this morning. Feeling better and better every day, so that's good. Pennsylvania had proven to be my biggest challenge so far on the AT, but all good things must come to an end. All right, I'm heading down into Delaware Water Gap right now, which is exciting because that signifies the end of Pennsylvania, the worst state ever. Sunrise Mountain in this stone pavilion thing, and this is one of New Jersey's highest peaks at a whopping 1,600 feet. Lots of board walking today. It's nice on the feet after all those rocks in Pennsylvania. Good morning. So today the countdown is on. I have 9 miles to hike until I get to the New Jersey-New York border, and then a 1 mile side trail to get down to where I will meet Luke, and then we're gonna take off 2 days. One day to kind of rest and relax, and another day to hopefully check out New York City, and then I'll be getting back on the trail Tuesday morning. So I found Luke. He was back for another 2-week stretch. We had all decided a while back to take 2 zeros in a row when we got here, a major luxury. By this point, I was really needing an attitude adjustment and some rest. Luke wanted to check out New York City for his first time, and Evan went off to meet up with his family for a visit. Luke and I stayed in a gorgeous bed and breakfast in Warwick, New York, and then headed into New York City for a day trip the next morning. Times Square, all the people, lights, concrete, and noise, it was kind of a shock to the system.
Ever again.
Our ride is here to pick us up this morning.
What's up, Evan?
Hi.
Alright, getting ready to hit the trail. Saying goodbye to the fam. Bye, guys. New ponchos!
Here, do a spin. That was graceful.
Doesn't look like much, but I just fell down that and landed almost on my face, but I'm okay.
Alright, we're about to head through the lemon squeeze, which is kind of like Fat Man Squeeze. It is, actually, Luke, what is it?
It's the limon crevasse.
He was reading me the description this morning and said it is a crevasse in between the rocks. Here we go. Oh, fuck. That does look difficult.
He's stuck.
My broad shoulders. You kind of gotta go sideways. Oh, shit. I did it! I think.
Woohoo, 1400!
We continued making our way over the relatively small but steep mountains in New York. We camped on top of Bear Mountain and it was beautiful.
Like shit moving down there.
Got that on video.
After 1,400 miles, it didn't take much to entertain us.
Short.
The trail just kept on going. I felt like I had done so much, but there was still so much in front of me.
That's a huge tree.
I'd be traipsing through the woods and then pop out into civilization, back into the woods, then out to a lake. Jesus, where's the trail? Every corner I turned, there was something I'd seen before, but it was still new and different.
So guys, this is where I'm eating.
And then, guess where we are headed right now? New England felt like home territory. So we started the day with a nice 500-foot climb, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but is like 100% humidity, and the mosquitoes have been eating us alive. Luke and I went through the last of our bug spray, so we are looking forward to getting to a store later today where hopefully we can buy gallons of gallons of bug spray, and fucking dump it all over ourselves.
Got that on camera.
Penis tree number 2. Good morning, Massachusetts. I thought I should mention, although I live in Massachusetts, I don't live anywhere near here. I'm probably like, I don't know, 3 hours away on the other side, so I've never even hiked in this area before. All of my hiking experience has been in the White Mountains in New Hampshire, so that will actually feel more like home to me when I get there.
Evan, what you doing?
Uploading a video to YouTube.
I was not expecting to walk up on cows in the middle of the woods this morning. Bye, Ben. Love you. Doing about 19 miles to Dalton, Massachusetts today. I'm sad that Luke is no longer with me, but I'm starting to get really excited and looking forward to finishing this hike. It finally feels like I've taken a turn and the light is there at the end of the tunnel. We only have a few states left. I am walking through Dalton, Massachusetts right now, which the trail goes right through this town. Not entirely sure what the plan is for today. I'm trying to get up to the top of Mount Greylock, which is, I think, 18 miles, but a tough 18 miles. It's the highest point in Massachusetts, I think around 3,500 feet. Alright, I am hanging out on the top of Mount Greylock right now. And this is the best day that I've had, I feel like, in a long time. It was such a great hike today. This is the first time I've been above 3,000 feet and I don't even know how long. So I feel like I'm back in the mountains again. The air is like cooler and less humid. It's a beautiful view. I am totally in a fantastic mood. So I've just crossed over the border and into Vermont and onto the long trail. 1,600. Only 590 left.
Vermont was known to be muddy, and it lived up to its reputation. It was ankle deep and sometimes really hard to get around it.
Oh! Ow, I banged my elbow. Okay, this is called the freedom step. When you're just like, fuck it, I don't even care anymore. Not trying to get around it, I'm just going through it.
Alright, we've made it up Stratton Mountain, and on a clear day you should be able to see 4 states from here. But today we saw whiteout. We had been hiking around Ricky, or Yelp, since about West Virginia, and at this point he had pretty much joined our group permanently. It's been downpouring all night and all morning. It's finally slowing down a tiny bit, but I'm trying to get packed up inside my tent. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. It's Evan's birthday today. Happy birthday, Evan.
This is the fucking trail.
Good morning.
Morning.
We are having quite a morning. How was your night last night?
It was wet. Very wet. Lots of water.
Oh, you said it with an American accent.
Lots of water.
Lots of water.
Yeah. And then we got up in the rain. We packed up in the rain. Everything's wet.
So we just happened upon these creative structures here. Yelp thinks someone took a lot of LSD.
Or it's aliens. Aliens, they do that.
Woo! Oh, I don't trust this. Stop bouncing! I'm gonna kill you guys. Go! Oh my God, go!
Evan hasn't been feeling good lately. His symptoms were a lot like mine, so he went and got tested the other night for Lyme, and then last minute at the end of the night we decided that we would take a 0 yesterday rather than push it. He hasn't really been able to eat or anything. So as much as it sucks for him, it was nice for me to have a random day off. And even better, I'm so close to home that I ended up having some visitors yesterday. So Luke came, and our dog, Miss Piggy, I haven't seen her since the start of the hike, so it was so nice. They just drove up for the day. It was about a 2.5 hour ride each way. So they left last night. It was sad to say goodbye, but Luke will be coming out on Friday anyways to hike with us, so I'll see him soon. Anyways, back on the trail today. Still in Vermont. I'll be hiking up Killington today. I made it to the top of Killington. It's so beautiful up here.
Alright, this is the split. This is where I am officially leaving the long trail and continuing east on the AT towards New Hampshire. What the fuck? This is the trail.
Evan was still feeling sick and struggling, but we kept pushing. I was so freaking happy to be getting closer and closer to the White Mountains. Mountains I'd hiked before. Real mountains.
And it's starting to rain again.
I am only a couple miles away from New Hampshire right now, which is the second to last state, so that's freaking awesome.
We did it! We're in New Hampshire! Woohoo!
By this point, Evan had started to fall behind. I wanted to wait for him, but he assured me that he wanted to just hike alone and not have to feel like he was holding us back. We'd hiked well over 1,000 miles together, and I felt awful moving on without him, but he assured me that once he was feeling better, he would catch back up. So I kept going.
Look who it is! Hi, babe.
Of course I am.
Mwah.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Look at you, all set up. I don't have to do shit tonight.
Good morning.
Good morning, birthday girl.
I'm fucking 30!
Happy birthday, dear Elizabeth. Happy birthday to you.
I was not expecting you to be on the trail.
Wayla's sneaking up on you.
Yes, I feel very fresh. I just like the Appalachian Trail, and I'm really feeling very good. I'm in good shape.
My mom and Mike surprised me once again by catching me on the trail to sing me happy birthday. We stayed in Lincoln, New Hampshire that night and celebrated my big 3-0.
Happy birthday.
The next morning, we officially entered the White Mountains and headed up Mount Moosilauke.
Moosilauke, Moosilauke.
Like I kept getting one and not the other.
Made it up to Moosilauke. What the fuck? Oh! I'm filming!
The terrain in New Hampshire was brutal, and although I wasn't a stranger to it, it didn't make it any easier.
Just went over south and now north Kinsman, although there's nothing to see up here. It is raining and just a whiteout. Woohoo! Uh-oh. Made it up to Little Haystack. It's a whiteout. Walking along Franconia Ridge right now. We have not been getting very lucky in New Hampshire so far with weather, so I'm kind of bummed. I feel like I've been looking forward to this for like 1,200 miles, but I have done this hike a few times before, and I live close enough that I can do it again. Just went over Lafayette. No views, no reason to stop. Gonna keep going. Okay, now we've made it up to Garfield, and it's a whiteout, and it looks exactly the same as all the other shit we've seen today.
After a few days, the weather cleared.
Good fucking morning.
It happened just in time. I had a couple of friends meeting up with me from home for the day, and we were all heading up into the presidential range. The presidential range is about a 20-mile stretch with over 9,000 feet in elevation gain, and it's all above tree line. It's rugged and difficult, but beautiful and so worth it. We split the traverse into 2 days, so our destination on day 1 was to Lakes of the Clouds Hut.
Hey, turn around.
Good morning. We're getting packed up and ready to go. And we got a surprise this morning. Evan came back. He hiked
30 miles to get here.
Showed up at 7 o'clock this morning, or not even 6:30 this morning. Made me cry.
Overnight.
Through the presidentials.
Yeah. I did nap for a few hours in the scruff trees.
But he's back. We're all together. So we're going to go hike Washington.
Evan catching back up just in time for the 4 of us to hike Mount Washington was the most epic day we ever had on the trail.
Fuck yeah!
We were all healthy, we were together, and we were going to fucking Maine.
Get the fun go, guys.
Boop, boop. Hell fucking yeah, we made it to Maine.
Then we made it through Mahoosic Notch. They say it's the hardest mile on the AT, or the most fun, depending on how you look at it. It's a mile-long notch between mountains filled with car-sized boulders that you either have to climb up and over or under and through. And of course, it was raining, so it was slippery. But nothing could stop us now.
Look who it is! Miss Janet! Right on time.
Miss Janet is a trail angel who is known for traveling up and down the trail in her bus and helping through hikers year after year. She drove us to the town of Bethel, Maine, where we took a zero to get dry, celebrate Luke's birthday. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Luke. Thank you guys. Happy birthday.
And eat a ton of food.
Alright, getting ready to get back on the trail. You guys ready?
Yeah, I'm the only one with my pack on.
No, it don't work. So I'm down to like 2 batteries to work it.
Oh my goodness. It's like a big tummy.
How far does it go in?
Dude. That's deep.
That's deep.
Killing it today.
This is what happens at the end of a through hike. This is how we hike. Evan just planned out pretty much the rest of the hike, which is so exciting as far as like mileage for each day and where we're gonna stay. It was a little confusing to do, but I think we've got a pretty solid plan that we can probably stick to. So I'm so excited. It's finally like here. 13 days until we're supposed to summit Katahdin, so I'm excited but anxious. Good morning. I am hiking. I have a bunch of mountains to climb today. It's supposed to rain later today. I feel like I could just put this clip on replay every day. Motherfucking 2000. Didn't get so lucky with the weather, but it's kind of cool. We're on the edge of the world. Last peak of the day, still a whiteout. Good fucking morning. I am all fired up today. It is beautiful out and we have a 23-mile day, which is way more miles than anything we've done in a while. Ever since we hit the White Mountains, or New Hampshire really, in southern Maine, we've only been doing like 13 to 15 miles a day because the terrain is so difficult with the elevation gain and, you know, with the rock climbing. But we got through the worst of that yesterday, so it gets a lot easier from here on. So 23 miles today, we're up in the miles right off the bat. All these lakes in Maine. I wish I had time to take advantage.
Good morning. It's only 6:20, but today's gonna be the best day because we're going to a pancake breakfast right now. Then we only have 3.5 miles to hike. Where's the AT? I got on blue. That's
to the
white.
water.
Then we only have 3.5 miles to hike to the Kennebec River, which I've whitewater rafted on before, and we're gonna get a canoe ride across the river, and then we're gonna go into a town, and Luke is meeting us, and he's gonna finish the rest of the AT with us.
We could walk across that shit.
Okay, it's getting really dark really early now. It's only like 7:30.
I don't want to get in any light at the camp. No.
Yeah, I'm talking to my video.
Oh, sorry.
Oh shit, what is this? Alright, everyone talks about how you need shoes for water crossings on the AT, so like we have Crocs and Yelp has
Vibe barefoot.
some fancy shit. Evan wears sandals anyway, but it's kind of funny that we're a week to the finish. We're towards the middle end of Maine, and this is the first time I'm ever using my Crocs for a river crossing.
After making it through most of Maine, we had one last challenge to get through before Katahdin.
Alright, here it is, the infamous sign warning us about the 100-mile wilderness. Here we go.
The 100-mile wilderness is the last section before the northern terminus of the Appalachian Trail, which is known as the most remote section of the trail without much access to towns or supplies if you were to need them. I can't believe that today is Wednesday and we are supposed to be finishing summiting Katahdin on Monday. At no point on the trail did it feel like it was going by fast, but now that we're almost here, in hindsight, it feels like it's flown by.
The last mile marker, or 100-mile marker I should say. Made it up to Whitecap. Got somewhat of a view. The clouds are beautiful actually.
Time last week, here's what I look like.
It's because you don't have tractables probably.
The 100-mile wilderness was a lot easier than I had anticipated. The northern section was pretty flat, and we hiked by lots of lakes.
You guys look comfy.
Very comfy. You know, eh?
Hi, babe.
Oh, crap, I'm swimming in Maine.
We knew our journey was coming to an end, and we were soaking in every moment.
There it is.
Let's get done and cool.
White House Landing is an off-the-grid hostel in the middle of the 100-mile wilderness.
Like a pro.
How you doing?
We got picked up by boat and had a memorable night there before our final push.
Then for a sunset canoe ride. There she is. That's Katahdin.
Oh fuck, it's a bit wobbly. I've not done kayaking before.
right, here's the sign warning the southbounders heading into the 100-mile wilderness, which means we are motherfucking done with the 100-mile wilderness. We made it to A-Ball Bridge, and look at the view. Hello, Katahdin. See you tomorrow, bitch.
Good morning. It's Monday, September 10th. It's like 6:30 this morning. I don't know how cold it is, but it is freaking cold. I'm wearing all my clothes. Today is summit day. Everybody's getting packed up and ready to go. We've got 5.3 miles till the summit sign. Good morning.
Good morning.
I love you.
Love you.
Good morning.
What's up?
Are you ready? Good morning.
Morning.
Are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Ready?
Ready. We are almost there. Less than a mile to the top. This is what we're looking at. Way up there. I'm fucking done.
You're gonna leave that.
You did it, Evan.
I did it.
How do you feel?
Well, I'm really happy to go home, and that's what makes me emotional, thinking about that.
You did it, yo.
Oh,
How do you feel?
all right, yeah. Indifferent.
You did it, Liz.
I didn't do it.
You did 1,000 miles.
You did it, Liz.
Yep.
How do you feel?
I'm ready to go home. All right, got one more surprise for you.
We are gathered here today at the summit of Mount Katahdin, Maine, at the northern end of the Appalachian Trail, to celebrate one of life's greatest moments and to cherish the words which shall unite you both in marriage.